Question 24. Rosie, Matilda and Ibrahim collect stickers. The ratio of the number of stickers of Rosie, Matilda and Ibrahim is in the ratio of 4 to 7 to 15. We're told that Ibrahim has 24 more stickers than Matilda. Ibrahim has more stickers than Rosie. How many more? As we're told that Ibrahim has 24 more stickers than Matilda, if he has more stickers, Ibrahim must also have more parts. Well, Matilda gets 7 parts to Ibrahim's 15. So to work out how many more parts Ibrahim gets, I'm going to do Ibrahim's subtract Matilda's. In this case, 15 take away 7. So 15 take away 7 gives us 8. So those 8 parts, therefore, must correspond to the 24 more stickers he receives. So 8 parts equals 24. Therefore, 1 part. What do I have to do to 8 to get down to 1? Well, I just simply divide by 8. Hence, do the same to the other side to keep it equivalent. And 24 divided by 8 gives us 3. So therefore, 1 part is worth 3. Now multiply back in the ratio. So I'm going to times each of these by 3. Therefore, Rosie, 4 times 3 gives us 12. Matilda, 7 times 3 gives us 21. And Ibrahim, 15 times 3 gives us 45. We are asked to work out Ibrahim has more stickers than Rosie. How many more? Well, Ibrahim is the 45. So it's going to be 45. Subtract Rosie. Well, Rosie is the 12. And 45. Subtract 12 gives us 33. Question 25. The prism has a volume of 750 centimeters cubed. To work out the volume of a prism, it's always the area of the cross-section, which in this case is our triangle, and we're going to multiply by its length. In this case, our length is 25. To work out the area of a right-angled triangle, I can simply do a half multiplied by base, multiplied by its height, as a triangle is half of a rectangle. And then to work out the volume, it's going to be the area of the cross-section, i.e. my half base times height, multiplied by the length. Substituting my values, we're leaving the half alone. So it's a half multiplied by the base of my triangle is 5. So half times 5 multiplied by height. Well, my vertical height, I don't know, so leave that as h for now. Multiplied by the length. Well, the length here I can see is 25. And I'm told the volume equals to 750. The opposite divide by 2 is I could then multiply both sides of my equation by 2. On the left-hand side, a half times 2 will give us 1. So just multiplying numbers I got left. On the left-hand side, I'm going to have 5 times 25, which is 125. And 125 times by h will give us 125 lots of h. And on the right-hand side, 750 times 2 will give us 1,500. As I want to get the value of h, i.e. my height, I know 125h means 125 multiplied by h, because a number in front of the letter means to multiply. Opposite of times by 125, therefore is to divide both sides of my equation by 125. On the left-hand side, 125 over 125 will cancel to leave us with h. And on the right-hand side, 1,500 divided by 125 gives me 12. Therefore, my height is 12 centimeters. Question 26. The surface area of the cube is equal to the surface area of the sphere. Show that x equals the square root of k pi, where k is an integer. We're given that the surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. And here our sphere has a radius of 3 centimeters. Therefore, substituting into our formula, 4 pi multiplied by r squared. Well, r is my radius, r is 3. So 4 pi multiplied by 3 squared. Leaving the 4 pi alone, I know that 3 squared means 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 gives us 9. And 4 pi times 9 gives us 36 pi. To calculate the surface area of the cube, we know surface area is the area of each of its faces added together. As it's a cube of length x centimeters, we know the length, width and height are all the same. So if this is x, this will also be x, and the height will be also x. Therefore, the area of one face will just be a square, which is x times x, and x times x will give us x squared. That would be the area of one face. We know a cube has 6 identical faces. If the area of each of its faces is going to be x squared, or 6 times x squared, therefore the total surface area of the cube, therefore, will be 6x squared. Going back to the question, we were told the surface area of the cube is equal to the surface area of the sphere. So therefore, I can form an equation. Therefore, I've got the surface area of the cube, which we just worked out to be 6x squared. So I've got 6x squared, and that's going to be equal to the surface area of the sphere, which I just worked out earlier, to be 36 pi. As I'm asked to show that x equals the square root of k pi, therefore I want to get x by itself. Well, the opposite of times by 6, therefore is divide both sides of my equation by 6. On the left-hand side, 6 over 6 will cancel, to leave us with x squared on the left-hand side of my equation. On the right-hand side, I know 36 divided by 6 gives us 6. So 36 pi divided by 6 will give us 6 lots of pi. I don't want x squared, I want x. Well, I know the opposite is squared, therefore it's the square root. Therefore, x is going to equal to the square root of 6 pi. Question 27. Freddie measured the length of a pencil to be 7.2 centimetres, correct to 1 decimal place. Complete the error interval for the length p centimetres of the pencil. Think of 7.2. The 1 decimal place before 7.2 would be 7.1. And the one after 7.2 would be 7.3. As I'm asking for the error interval, I just go in between. I.e. what's in between 7.1 and 7.2? Well, therefore, I know it's going to be 7.15. That's going to be my lower bound. What's in between 7.2 and 7.3? Well, that's going to be 7.25. That's going to be my upper bound. So therefore, my error interval is p is greater than or equal to 7.15, 7.25. Question 28. The equation of a straight line L is y equals 3 minus 4x. We're asked to write down the gradient of L. We should know the equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c, where m represents the gradient and c represents the y-intercept, i.e. where it crosses the y-axis. As our line already starts to form y equals, I know m, the gradient, is the number in front of the single letter of x. You must take the sign. So here's the single x, so therefore the number, the gradient, therefore in this case is negative 4. Part 2. Write down the coordinates of the point where L crosses the y-axis. Well, it always crosses the y-axis when x equals 0. So the x coordinate will always be 0. And we know it crosses the y-axis is what we call c, the y-intercept. In this case, c is our number term. In this case, our number term, in this case, is positive 3. Therefore, the coordinates is 0, 3.